Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Calvin Wazoo. Richard here. And as the title suggests, I'm celebrating 400 subscribers and I'm pushing to 500. So I'm going to have a contest. And the contest, I feel more comfortable with this contest. I learned a lot from doing the first one and how to do it and not do it. So with this one, I'm going to make it so it's going to be easier for you and easier for me to make sure I find all the entries. There will be a prize of a $40 Amazon gift card. So if you're not in the United States, that's going to be 40 US dollars. So if you're not in the United States, it'll be easy for me. I just send you the gift card and it gets converted into whatever your local currency is. So that will be the prize. And we'll run this. Today is Mother's Day. We will run this to Father's Day. So entries will need to be posted, and that's part of the rules. You need to create a video. You need to be subscribed to my channel. And then you need to submit or post, I should say, post your video and using the hashtag that you see in my title, hashtag celebrate400. And that will need to be posted no later than June 19th. So on June 20th, Father's Day, I can then select a winner. And all this will be in the down under, so, everything will be clear, including the questions that I am about to go through. There's 4 questions. There is a 5th one, but it's kind of a bonus question. You don't have to answer it, but if you can answer it, hey, that's cool. So I think I covered everything. Got the hashtag. You need to be subscribed. Your video needs to be posted no later than June 19th. The winner will be selected on Father's Day, June 20th, and the prize will be a $40 Amazon gift card. So let's get started. First question is, show us your weirdest or most obscure album that you own. Okay. And it doesn't even have to be an album that you like. Sometimes, when we're digging and then we find something that is just really unusual, really arcane, and maybe there's just not a lot of information available about the recording and the artist, etc., and you pick it up and you get it home and you think, it's okay. Or you get it home and you listen to it and it's kind of like, oh, well, but it's still so weird, I'm going to keep it kind of thing. All right, so for me, it was, I'm digging through the racks at a record store and then I see this. And I think, what the hell is this? So, it appears that we've got appears to be a young Asian man holding this notebook that's got a sketch or something about Notre Dame. And so I check out the other side, and so it's this. So the recording artist's name is Hot and Cold, and this album is Border Area, which I later found out was a limited release of only 300 copies. And, I looked at it and I thought, well, here, look at this. Okay, so it was recorded live to 4-track in Beijing, China. And the record company, the label, moniker, is from Chicago. So I thought, and I think it was like $5. It was not brand new. Somebody apparently bought this and maybe didn't care for it all that much, but it was in near mint condition. I mean, it was in really good condition. So it's a 2012 release, so I thought, what the hell, I'll get it. Now, Hot and Cold is Simon Frank and Joshua Frank. All right, they're brothers. They're a couple white dudes who were born in India, and then their family moved to China. So either I'm figuring they're probably pretty privileged. They are of, I believe, British background. And so either they're the children of diplomats or perhaps British contractors. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of information on them, although I did find an interview with the two brothers, and that was on, is it Vox or Voice? I can't remember which website. I think it was Voice, which I will have a link to that in the Down Under. I haven't finished reading the entire thing. But anyway, this is, Simon is playing keyboard and he does the singing. So when I say keyboard, we're talking a lot of synthesized music, use of drum machines, etc. And then Joshua Frank, his brother, plays bass and also keyboard. So there's the one instrument, the bass, and then everything else is electronic, including sometimes there'll be drum tracks, something like that. So the voice, Simon Frank's voice, to me, I don't know, it seems like the music is interesting to me. I've listened to it a couple of times, listened to it last night just to kind of refresh my memory. So the music itself is interesting. It's a little simple, a lot of two-chord songs, but nonetheless, it's kept me interested throughout the entire album. But Simon's voice, to me, seems to be not well suited to it. At least that's just my opinion. I kind of feel like if someone with a voice that was a little heavier and deeper and more gravelly, like a Captain Beefheart or Tom Waits, singing these songs, it would be really a really good connection. But hey, it's okay. Simon's voice reminds me very much of Gordon Gano, but not ironic. So anyway, that's my obscure album. Definitely a bit on the weird side, but I'm not going to be like the previous owner who is just gonna send it away or return it. Second question is a record by a band from your region, but one that is not well known. The band or artist is not really that well known. Now, as an example, what I mean by region, I am in Chicago. So yeah, I could pick, people like Muddy Waters or Howlin' Wolf, because, or even, oh God, why I'm drawing a blank now on this other Chicago band. But anyway, because, they're from Chicago. But also, I'm right next door to Gary, Indiana. So there's, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. And then there's Cheap Trick, who are from Rockford, Illinois. So, there's the region, I'm kind of working with. And the band I'm selecting here is Poster Children. And their album, which was their second release, Daisy Chain Reaction. Very much a grunge band, and I really, really like them. They've reissued most of their catalog. I have, and then plus they released something. I'm not sure if it was last year or if it was 2019, but they did release a new record. This is the 25th anniversary reissue. They're from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, where the University of Illinois is located, primary campus. Record is engineered by Steve Albini, remastered by Bob Weston. So if you see this, it's really, really good. And like I say, very post-punk grunge, very much like early Nirvana, in that vein. All right, third question. Favorite record from one of your favorite groups, all right? Doesn't have to be the favorite, man. And, for example, I'm very much associated with Frank Zappa. I'm not going to pick a record from Frank Zappa. It could be a situation, too, where you recognize that there is a particular recording by this group or artist that is definitely the pinnacle of their entire output, but there's still another record you like better, while you still recognize perhaps the superiority of the other record. For example, with the Beatles, my favorite release of theirs is Revolver, but I still recognize the significance and superiority of Sgt. Pepper's. That kind of a situation. But I'm not going to do either one of those. I'm going to go with the Grateful Dead, and this is my favorite release of the Grateful Dead, Working Man's Dead. I mean, I have always loved this record ever since I was in high school. So many great songs, and I like the tone and the personality of the album. It's very, very much more toward the folky and funkier side of folk and country rock. It has so many great songs. Cumberland Blues, Casey Jones, Easy Win, and probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite Dead song, and that's going to be, New Speedway Boogie, Uncle John's Band, but Black Peter is a song that I would want played at my funeral, and it's either going to be very appropriate or very ironic, depending on how many people show up for the funeral. So that's my favorite record from one of my favorite groups. All right, my latest discovery. All right, show us a latest discovery, and it's either a band or a label. And again, it's your discovery, all right? So this could be a band that's been around for decades, and you're just finding out about them. Hey, that's totally cool. Or it could be this interesting record label that you have found, and that the bands associated with that label are bands that you are really enjoying. So I'll have an example of each. My latest discovery for a band, which many of you probably know because I've been doing quite a few videos about them, is Car Seat Headrest. And I'm holding up Teens of Style, which is a compilation of various songs by Will Toledo, who is the sine qua non of Car Seat Headrest. And when he signed with Matador Records, he put together a sort of, not necessarily greatest hits compilation, because he's always been kind of under the mainstream radar. But it's a compilation of a lot of his earlier material, which he went back and polished up some of it for the record. And, that was the debut release. If you want to check out Car Seat Headrest, I really recommend them. Very early material is very, very lo-fi, and there's still that edge of lo-fi pop rock with the newer material, but it, it is more polished and a little more refined. Twin Fantasy is so far, definitely my favorite. However, I haven't really given a deep dive into Teens of Denial yet, which, may change my mind in terms of what my favorite is. But anyway, that's one of my most recent infatuations in terms of a band. When we come to a label, so this band here is a psychedelic band from Thailand. All right, and the name of the band is Strangers from the Far East, Kana Beerbud. And Kana Beerbud is the name of the band. Strangers from the Far East is the name of the record. Very psychedelic. I mean, this label, Guru Guru Brain, that's the label, Guru Guru Brain. And they don't have a distinctive label because, here's the label for this band, for Kana Beerbud. But then when we go to the band Mong Tong, we see one that's a little more associated with the brand Guru Guru Brain. But then when we also go to the band Masana Temples, we have this for label. But the whole thing is with Guru Guru Brain, this is a record label that pretty much exclusively focuses on psychedelic music made by East Asian artists. So, for example, the Masada Temples, this is a band from Japan. And then we have this one, Mong Tong, they're from Taiwan. This is very much like Hot and Cold in that you've got a couple of brothers where one of them is playing an instrument, the guitar, and then the other one is using synthesizers to create the other sounds. And then this, the first one I showed, this Thai band, all right, so they're from Thailand, and really, really good psychedelic sounds that also incorporate the sound of that region or country. Very well blended in the traditional style of music with the psychedelic feel. So if you like psychedelic rock, if you like psych rock, when you're going through the bins and you see something on the Guru Guru Brain label, I really recommend that. Okay, so now the last question is a bonus question. It's not one you have to answer to be eligible for the contest. But hey, if you can, have some fun and do that. And what this is show us a 3-sided LP that was released originally as a 3-sided LP. So a lot of new releases of older material sometimes will have it'll come in 2 LPs, but there's gonna be just one side on the second LP, and it's including bonus material, something like that. I'm not talking about that kind of record. I'm talking about this was the original release, and it was released on 3 sides rather than 4. And the one I'm using is Villagers, Becoming a Jackal. And this is, so we've got, it's got 2, here's their label, and it's got the, here, but then we get to side 3, but then side 4 is blank. I don't even think it has anything etched on it. Sometimes the third side does have an etching on it, which I'm not sure if you can kind of see. Kind of tough to show that etching, but I can see it in the camera. Maybe you can also. Villagers was something that I found randomly on YouTube. And it's pretty much the project. See, like, while Car Seat Headrest is pretty much the project of Will Toledo, we have Villagers, which is, and his name is escaping me, is pretty much the project also of one man. This guy here. All right. And Connor J. O'Brien. He's the singer and songwriter. This is what is etched on the fourth side, that image. It's very folky, and at times it's very dark and introspective. I really like his songwriting, really skilled storyteller with the songs, and also a really good orchestrator. On many of the studio releases, he's playing every instrument. But when he travels, he has a band that travels with him. So he's still a little more of a one-person project than Will Toledo is with Car Seat Headrest, because Car Seat Headrest has a standing band. And maybe Villagers has a standing band as well, but he's still O'Brien, or what is, you see, I just looked up his name. Yeah, O'Brien, Connor O'Brien is still, I think, pretty much the only person in the studio, with very few other studio musicians. He still does everything with the multi-layers. Anyway, wow, I'm over 20 minutes. That's a long time for just a 5 or 4 and possibly 5 question contest. All right, so the questions will be in the Down Under. Again, you want to make sure that when you post your video that you use the hashtag #celebrate400, just like I have in the title. I mean, I've got Kickoff to 500 in there, but it's not part of the hashtag. So make sure that's in there. Also, it's going to be helpful if you leave a comment on this video that you have posted a video, so that I can start saving them and put them in my contest queue. And then on June 19th, which is the deadline, I will post a message to make sure that, hey, I'll post a list of the people that I see who have already entered. And, so check it out to make sure you're on that list. And then on Father's Day, June 20th, I will draw a winner from my hat. All right, so that's it. The questions are down under. And I hope you participate and celebrate with me of hitting, 400 subscribers. It took me an entire year to get to 100, which was earlier, this year. And like right in early January, I hit 100, and here we are in May, and I'm at 400 now. And let's, keep it going up to 500. Have really, really enjoyed the comments and feedback that I am getting from people. Thank you so much for helping my channel grow. I mean, I'm just doing this because I like to do it. It's such a nice secondary reward, to see the growth in subscribers, that people apparently are finding some enjoyment and benefit, from my channel. That's great. It's very humbling. So with that, thank you. And remember to always pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.